Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back after a long week. eISL, powered by Coca Cola. Of course, before we get the show started, a huge shout out to our sponsor, starting off with our associate sponsor, Hero, of course, our esports partners, Nordwin Gaming, and our platform partners, PlayStation. And Azim, just a couple of moments ago, we witnessed very beautiful match of SC's Bengal getting the victory against Kerala Blasters FC. But this next matchup, okay, so it gets a lot interesting because ATK Mohun Bagan will be going up against the Chennaiyin FC. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, going to be a very interesting game. ATKMB, of course, recently getting their first win
Yeah.
with the cake as the incentive, and the cake was sent to them and delivered. More about that after we take you through our tournament format. In case you're new to the AISL, this is of course the league stage where we will be going till the 13th of March. 110 matches, 3 games per match, 2 1v1s, and 1 co-op. The top 4 teams will be making it to the finals, which are played between the 19th and 21st of March. Only one team can win, sadly, and unfortunately, from that team, only one player can represent India at
Yeah.
the FIFA Global Series 2022.
Yeah, the golden ticket has finally been announced, but who's going to be the recipient? The worthy recipient of it is the question why we've organized this big tournament around over here. But before that, with that ticket, you get a lot of money also involved. 78 lakhs is what's on the line over here, out of which the first position gets 15 lakh rupees, and then second position onwards 7.5, and so on. It reduces the MVP, however, of this tournament receives 4 lakh rupees, and that's a separate prize money altogether. But coming back, Azim over here, we've been on that 1 week break. We've seen a lot of changes happening. ATK Mohun Bagan winning their first game, and I think that's gonna instill a little bit of confidence inside of them. But their opponents, well, they have not really have had the best of the day so far. I'm talking about Chennaiyin FC. But before we get that match started off, let's take a look at the leaderboard and see where do they stand in terms of the overall points that they've accumulated.
Yeah, for Chennai FC, of course, a chance to go back to the top of the table. Of course, SC's Bengal will have 2 games in hand on them, but psychologically, always big advantage to be at the top. For ATK Mohun Bagan sitting rock bottom, but finally getting those 3 points against FC Goa, no less, a team who are sitting above Chennai FC in the table right now. So they need to keep that form going. Of course, they'll have their confidence will be on a high. The belief will be back that you know what, we're not just here to make up the numbers. We can still do something in this tournament. We can, if nothing else, be a nuisance to the teams at the top who are fighting it out and be those giant killers. The team that can stick a thorn in the side of a team that would ordinarily think that they can make it easily into the top 4. So ATK Mohun Bagan, I mean, it is a little unrealistic right now for them to be making that top 4 spot, but they can be a significant thorn in the side for a lot of the teams out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, particularly, I would not really be astonished if they can pull off a surprise today to come on Bagan, because Chennai FC. Let's be honest, right? They've got 2 amazing players in their team, but you've got those phases for every esports athlete or maybe a professional football athlete. There are those phases where you have to go through that slump, right? That sort of tests your character, and that is exactly the phase that Chennai and FC are going through. But I'm pretty sure they might come out on the brighter side. But here we have the schedule in front of us. The game number 1, we've got Bendratej going up against Naveen, the deadly Naveen, and then, well, it does not get easy for KT Tilno as he's going up against the mighty Saranch.
Yeah, it is going to be a massive challenge for these boys, but they will take confidence from the fact that managed to get that win last time out. Of course, it's a huge challenge as well for both these guys to get anything out of this game. But we said that when they went up against FC Goa as well. They'll be playing now with a bit of a smile on their face. Of course, there is no cake incentive this time because we're going to run out of budget if we have to send them a cake for every win. But Chennai FC, you can see they've been in very good goal scoring form. Particularly Naveen, who you would say is one of the MVP candidates at the moment. really doing a good job, carrying his team more than Saranch, which is not what we expected in the start of the season.
I mean, then again, it's sort of a team game. I think Naveen has been one of those players who's trying to, be the goal scoring machine, right? So Ranch is again, how do you call it? Mr. Dependable. When the time comes, you need to clutch it out. He's there. But yeah, likewise, right? The competition is so intense and so fierce that even players like Saranch have been tamed, right? By players like Imad, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
That one matchup was such a spectacle to witness, right? The way he was counted, but we've got to see, change is the way of this game. We've got to keep evolving according to the meta. A lot of players have been buffed, a lot of new player cards have been introduced, but this is it. Taking a look at the statistics, in terms of goals being scored, Vindatej was never far behind, but his defense has always been a big issue, which I believe he's tried to compensate with an absolute attacking spearhead that he is. But against Naveen, it's going to be difficult. That is exactly what we thought when he went up against the players of FC Goa and still came out on the winning side.
Yeah, I mean, I think ATKMB would have loved for this match to come even sooner because, before that, they were not in the best of form. They would just be dreading each game as it came. Oh my God, how much longer is this losing streak going to continue? But now, after getting that first win, they would have been chomping at the bit. Let's go, let's get the next opponent, bring on Chennaiyin FC. And they have their moment, they have their opportunity today. Let's see if they can grab it with both hands.
Oh yeah, I think this is exactly what they're going to be looking forward to, right? But yeah, there you have it. Some confidence booster for Bindu because he's definitely going to need it, right? Going up against the mighty Naveen, it's never easy. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Mariners are back in action. ATKMB in their classic home from left to right. But we've got Chennai FC from right to left in the white kit over here. So Gullet, in fact, passing it on towards Eusebio, would be looking to give it away towards Ronaldo. But from what we've seen from the playing
Hmm.
11, this could be a really good chance. But no,
Yeah,
eventually
I
turns
think he
out to be
was,
an
yeah.
offside.
Yeah, just went a little bit too early with that run over there. Did look initially that it was going to be offside. But you can see Binder Tej very clearly wants to get on that front foot and wants to get attacking straight away. That's his strength, and he needs to play to his strengths. You can see over there Naveen being put on that back foot, almost the perfect pass, the perfect cutback, just not quite enough power on that pass over there. And Binder Tej, of course, will have been using this time off to work on his defense. Naveen getting that ball in behind. Now he's got bodies in the box, but decides to slow it down in characteristic Chennai FC style, you would have to say. And these are the moments where he's so dangerous. Oh, that's unlucky, but great save. Hit, in fairness, straight at the keeper. And we do see that Casillas is one of the players that a lot of our eISL boys are preferring now. Looks like the days of Van der Sar might be past us, but the days of Vieira and Gullit in midfield well and truly alive as it's intercepted fairly easily,
Yeah.
and Chennai FC will look to build again.
Of course, I mean Naveen, he's got a point to prove because the Game of Thrones, as we've been calling it, the first spot has been cursed, right? Every single time someone gets over there, they lose it eventually. But you've got to look at the bigger picture right now. The biggest hurdle is to make it to the top four. But Chennai FC, they've got their standards really set high, right? They're gonna settle nothing less than being on the top spot. But so many contenders out there. We just witnessed SC's Bengal taking the top spot, and this victory over here would again ensure that Chennai FC are sitting on the top. But there you have it from the right wing. An attack being initiated. Gullit passing it on towards Eusebio, has a ton of space around him. Goes in for the shot, but deflected by the keeper out for a corner.
It'll be interesting to see why Naveen's shots, all of them for some reason. Oh, again, this one, of course, intercepted and some innovative defending over there, but given away. Bindratej needs to really cut these cheap giveaways and mistakes out if he's going to have a chance because
Oh,
Naveen puts that wide.
yeah.
And clearly not got his shooting boots on today because he's had two very clear opportunities, hit the keeper directly with both of them, not really going for either corner. Maybe that could be a factor of Bindratej moving the keeper manually. Let's see if that is the case. We'll pay a little bit of a closer watch to the keeper movements. But Bindradej, you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get those 1-2s, that ball in
Yeah.
behind the defense. But it's not quite working for him. Of course, it is not the most effective tactic to use when you're,
Oh,
dead level. But again, and still given away. It is Alfonso Davies at left back over here. And this time the shot and pulled out
how?
from Casillas. Do we have a new MVP in the making?
I mean, as long as Maldini is on the field, I still I'm gonna have my money on him. But again, like you said, I completely agree with you. Naveen has been having a bad day in terms of conversion, right? He's creating a lot of chances, but just the goal scoring opportunity that he had there been Ankit Gupta in his place from that position, just entering into the D box, he would have gone for a finesse shot. But now also he had a good chance, but has been thwarted away. And ATKMB survived those initial 30 minutes onslaught by Chennaiyin FC. But again, Bindrateej, being the player that he is, his only weakness so far had been in terms of the defense, and has given the ball away a lot of times, a lot of goal scoring opportunities, but Naveen hasn't really capitalized on that. But Bindrateej, I'm still searching. When is he gonna start attacking?
Well, I mean, for that, he needs to try and get hold of the ball, which Naveen is not particularly keen on giving him. He's just sitting, he's camped outside. The pressure is relentless from him right now. I think he's amazed that he hasn't scored yet. And I think Bindratej can count himself fairly lucky. It's quite interesting that he's gone with Alfonso Davies as left back because I think of all the changes we've made, everybody in this game has seemed to be expendable. Apart
Oh,
from, oh my goodness, almost a shot. I was about to say, apart from Ronaldo, Pele, and Theo Hernandez at left back. But does look like he's more comfortable having that little bit more pace, little bit better crossing ability, perhaps that Alfonso Davies gives him, and favoring that in instead of strength. But he did get in there. We did see Bindratej get into the box as well. Encouraging signs for him, and I think he needs more of that.
oh, he definitely does. But Naveen, he's been a little bit of in those dark, gloomy days, right? Again, like I said, confidence is somewhere it's kind of missing from Naveen, right? The chances he's creating, that's impeccable. But if nothing gets converted, because we're almost approaching the half time, and he hasn't put the ball at the back of the net, but has created a multitude of chances on various occasions over here. Again, he's starting to build up his attack, and you can see the defense is well alert, well alarmed, but Gullit trying to break past it, passing it on towards Ronaldo. Ton of space over there. Eusebio passing it on towards Ronaldo yet again. This is the point where he could actually try and go for a score shot, but no, so many defenders just come swarming him at him. At there you go. ATK Mohun Bagan heading off with their counter, but just before that, the halftime whistle has been blown, and we are still at a standstill.
I mean, I think Naveen will be wondering how he's not leading at this time because probably has an expected goal of 2.5 or 3 at this point because he's created so many clear cut opportunities but somehow has been finding the goalkeeper with each one of them. And Casillas isn't even the tallest keeper in the game, so if you put it in the corner, generally he should not be able to save it. But of course, great reflexes and great positioning ability from the keeper, so maybe that compensates a little bit. Saranch now handing some advice. Of course, Saranch also looks like he's got rid of his old the beard that he was growing. The rugged look seems to have gone. Pindratej will be counting himself quite lucky. He's had maybe one opportunity for himself, but not really been able to do much with it.
Yeah.
And does look like he needs to step it up, keep possession a little bit better. He's been giving the ball, he's been winning the ball in his defense, but immediately giving it away, and those are the mistakes he needs to cut out.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a thing called superstitions, right? A lot of players do have that belief, right? Maybe just shaving off would get Sharansh back into his winning days could be a thing for them. I've seen a lot of players believe in such stuffs. I've seen few esports players wearing a particular shirt on their most important match day. I've seen a few players who have their soft toys brought along on their lands, right? So everyone has something to believe. Maybe something is there for Sharansh. Maybe we could ask him if we get a chance to have him on our screens with an exclusive interview. But then we have the second half on way, and Naveen and Bindratej still in pursuit for that opener from either of these players because, well, the fans are aching for it. They want a goal. We've got to see who delivers first.
Yeah, and again, I think following a similar pattern of play where Bindratej not really, I think, trying to force those passes a little bit, not really thinking it through and then finding the pass over there. But offside for Naveen as well. You can see Naveen, as you mentioned, not feeling, not looking particularly confident at this moment. Again, another cheap giveaway, but falls kindly to him and given away again. So for today, I think Bindratej has defended okay. I think it's been his work in possession which has been difficult. Not been able to deal with the press. But speaking of possession, it's a cheap giveaway. It falls to Gullit and a last ditch tackle there by Naveen, and it's a goal kick. That's quite strange.
Yeah, and at this point, ATKMB, they would definitely want a win, but I think they could do with a draw. But that is where it sort of starts getting a little too worrisome because you've got KT Dillo going up against Ranch next, but this could have been a good attack being created by Chennai FC. But like you've said, right, Biddatej has been looking really promising. So with this 1 week of a gap that we've had, Bindratej definitely seems to have worked on his defense.
Oh yeah, but right now it's gonna be the acid test of all that work that he's done. Of course, you can practice however much you want on online games or with your people in the hotel, but it's these moments that count. And oh my God, again, Casillas pulling that out of thin air. Bindratej living a very charmed life at the moment. I have to say, will the cross come in? Nope. It is Ronaldo given away over there. You can see there's a swarm of bodies in that box immediately. I think. Whether they're relying on quantity over quality, and
What? How?
again saved by Casillas. Naveen, my goodness, I mean, he has the poker face right now, but he must be absolutely flummoxed as to how he's not leading.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be so annoying, right? So disturbing for Naveen at this point. He's been creating a multitude of chances over there, but nothing seems to go through. And even the worst part is he always beats the defenders. He takes a go at the goal, but look at Bindratej. This has gone in out of nowhere, and ATKMB, they have a reason to celebrate, and that is the opening goal finally coming at the 64th minute of the game, and ATKMB just have taken the lead.
Oh my goodness, what a funny old game this is. The guy who's been dominating this game, creating chance after chance after chance, not able to beat the keeper, gets scored against by his opponent's first shot on target.
Ah,
It's just the way life seems to work. And Bindratej, fair play to him. You can only do what's in front of you. I mean, if the opponent is not scoring goals, you're going to get that opportunity eventually, and then you just have to make it count. And he's done it there. Naveen is going to be angry now. He's going to be really, really annoyed. Usually a very calm, cool, docile kind of chap, but he's going to be seething inside. And
ah.
let's see now if he can channel that into, well, finishing past the keeper and putting that ball in the corner.
I mean, I do not know if you watch a lot of animes or Dragon Ball Z. I think you must have heard of it, right?
Yes.
There's this form where you evolve, right? You just keep getting better. You get into Super Saiyan mode, and then more than that, right? At this point, the anger just boiling up in Naveen's heart. He's been creating so much chances. This is where he can notch it up a little bit, get more aggressive. But at the same time, I'm starting to get a little worried because, once you get really thirsty, once you've got that bloodlust going that you need to score a goal, you tend to open up chinks in your armor. You sort of are vulnerable towards potential attacks, and that could be the case. But Naveen, again, trying to build up an attack, he's not had problems with playing around the defenders as such over here in this case,
Hmm.
but finally managing to score. And look at him, not interested in celebrating at all, but it's going to be Neymar scoring for Chennai FC. Of course, Naveen being the man after it, and we're back to leveling grounds yet again.
Yeah, unfortunately for Bindratej, the 1v1 defending still, I mean, leaves a bit to be desired. We've seen him get beaten 1v1 by Naveen on a number of occasions right now. And of course, this is finally the one shot for Naveen that actually worked out. Now Bindratej trying to get in, but again fails to win his 1v1 duel against Naveen, who is, of course, very, very solid defensively in most circumstances. Usually, we've seen Naveen counter, like concede goals more on the counter attack, as we did see for the goal with Bindratej as well. Battling it out over there, Neymar versus Ruud Gullit. In normal life, you would expect Gullit to win that battle comfortably, but this is, of course, FIFA, where anything is possible based on the cards that you have and the modifiers that you put on your players. Yes, it would be a Neymar, but probably has a powerhouse or one of those modifiers that gives him more strength. And speaking of strength, a powerful shot and some innovative defending over there, given straight back, but one again. And now, with 1-all on the score, 10 minutes on the clock, can Bindratej try to steal this? He does have a good number of bodies forward, taking that ball wide with Mbappe. Maybe he wanted to go a bit more central and wins the corner.
Oh, and now suddenly this match has gotten so much more exciting because we are looking out for our winners over here, right? Who is gonna get that late winner? But look at this, this is what I was talking about, right? Bindratej, he seems to have worked out on his defense a little bit, but again, you're talking about a player like Naveen in front of him who has got no trouble in getting past his defense, right? The only issue that Naveen is facing right now is in conversion, in being a little more clinical. And if he can manage to see this through, I think he's not going to have any issue in winning that. But he needs to gain some possession. But a corner being taken, ATKMB on the attack, Mbappe passing it on towards Eusebio, but Kafu with that beautiful interception. But Naveen, he's now supposed to be scoring. He has to do it with just 7 minutes in hand.
Yeah, he's going to. I don't think he'll be overly patient going into this one. He would want a few opportunities to try and attack. So we should see him try to force that pass maybe in the next 1 or 2 game minutes. Let's see. I don't. I think it's too early to try to settle for the last attack of the game. And you can see slowly but steadily getting closer to that box, trying to find that pass. And okay, the turnover is on for Bindratej. He's got Cristiano Ronaldo in there, and he has space on the flanks, goes for the ball to Ronaldo, but the header won by Cafu probably would have been better served going on the left flank over there, because
Yeah.
it did look like Mbappe was wide open, but not making the correct decision. And now, for sure, this time it will be the final attack of the half from Naveen and Chennai FC getting in behind. Now it is pretty much 4v4 in the box. It's Mbappe against
Oh,
Alfonso Davies, gets the tackle in, and maybe that's why it's Davies over there to give him that pace to be able to cope with Mbappe. Launches it forward, hopefully, and it does look like it is going to end 1-all. So a reasonable result for ATKMB. I think maybe 3 weeks ago Bindratej would have lost this, but manages to hold out for a draw.
yeah, and he does, and both of these players, they are not really satisfied with the result. And Naveen, he's absolutely fuming. It's just that he's being modest over here, not really showing it, right? He's not been too vocal about his
Yeah.
emotions, right? But I'm pretty sure he's not going to be satisfied with the way he's performed. But Vintage, the same goes for this young man as well, because again, he was the one who got the who got the opener, and not really being able to hold on to that little lead that he had, instantly conceding right after. He's not going to be pleased either. But a draw is what we have gotten for ourselves from game number one. But heading into game number two, where you've got KT Dillon and Sharanj. Sharanj definitely has a lot going behind his shoulders, right? He's got to do something. He's got to somehow pull the burden for his team and seeing this game through, so that they're gonna have a rather easier time during the co-op game.
Yeah, and of course, there is much more to lose and much more on the line for Chennaiyin FC. I mean, if ATKMB lose this game for them, doesn't make that much of a significant difference to their season. I mean, their fights are with the likes of Hyderabad FC and potentially even Kerala Blasters and Odisha FC if they want to try and get up to those guys and compete with them. But for Chennai and FC, this is a huge game because fail to win this, and again you've played one more game than the teams around you, and you have not got the points to show for it. So Chennai and FC and Saranj will know the importance of this game coming up as we see Naveen finally beating his man and finding that finish and looking at his teammates saying, "But I was doing that only. The last 5 times I took the same shot and somehow the keeper saved it." And yeah,
uh,
it's just well, might just get to see some stats if we have the time for it. But we are now preparing for that game with Kitty Dillon and Saranch, which is going to be a nervy affair for both players, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it is definitely going to be one heck of a matchup we've got coming up for you guys. But before that, I think we've got to head inside the studios because we've got Bindratej who's waiting for us in an exclusive interview with him. So, Bindratej, again, I mean, I really do not know how to react on how this game went because after the game, you were not really happy with the results.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was not playing well at all today, and my keeper saved me a lot of times. And I was able to get the first goal, so that puts a lot of pressure on Naveen because he was the better player today. And I was lucky to get a draw out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think a draw not a bad result for you. I think maybe would you have taken a draw before the game if we
Well,
handed you one?
obviously, I wanted a win only, but draw is not bad. Still, we have a chance
Okay.
to get a point from this game.
And we've seen a lot of players now shifting from Van der Sar going to Casillas
Yeah.
as the goalkeeper. What's the thinking behind that?
So we have the new prime icons now in our account. So
Yeah.
we are trying new players. So I'm trying some 2, 3 keepers and Casey. I've played Casillas today. I might play another keeper in the next game. So let's see. We're trying new players out.
I mean, I felt Kessie was pretty good considering how he was making all those saves early on. But why would you go for Casillas when you've got Van der Sar? Is there any particular trait that Casillas has that Van der Sar is missing
So
out on?
no, not particularly, but it is said that Prime Casillas is very good. So I was trying him out, and he was good for me in the practice games. So I played him today.
All
All
right.
right. But of course, you guys got your first win last week, so obviously you would have been wanting to keep that momentum going.
Yeah,
How are you feeling ahead of the game with KT and Saranj? Do you think he can
I,
pull off
I'm
another upset? And yeah?
I'm pretty confident that KT will get something out of this game, at least a draw. He's also confident right now. So let's see what happens next.
I mean, we would exactly hope if he could settle for a draw, or maybe even go beyond that. Prove get a shocker out of it. Maybe bag a win because, of course, we could see the players of Chennai fuming with the results that they had. But you guys have been making some interesting improvements lately, and we really hope that we could get to meet one of you guys towards the end of the third game. So all the best, buddy.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
Cheers. There we have it. Azim bin Ritesh was clearly not happy with how things went through, right? And he was pretty vocal. Why? Because he was not doing that well in terms of defense, and even he felt that Naveen should have been a winner. But it is what it is, Casillas coming in and making all those saves because it was just not once or twice. I think it was 4 to 5 times I saw Naveen breaking through the defense. But in terms of conversion, do you think he was just unlucky, or was he scoring at the wrong parts of the net?
I think he was sort of snatching at his chances, like especially when the first one doesn't go and you start thinking, maybe it's not my day, maybe I need to start doing things differently. Obviously, not that affected by it. He's still got a smile on his face right now. Of course, you can afford to smile when you've got one of the best players in India sitting alongside you to try and get that win. But KT, we did see him get a huge result last time out. I do believe. I think it was against V Sharma, which we thought would be a foregone conclusion that FC Goa would get the win over there. But they did manage it. They managed to get steal it in the co-op game, and they'll be hoping to get. I mean, I think they would really love a win over here. But if they can get a draw and take this to co-op, even steal a point out of this fixture as a whole, I think they would treat that as a good result.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Right now, Naveen, right after his game, he's realized the game has been passed by. Now the hopes of Chennaiyin FC lies on this one man. And we know, we've heard legends of him. He's been winning accolades for the country, not just country, but also has been one of the finest players in the entire South Asian region. But lately in the eISL, he's been going through a little bit of a rough time, right? So today would definitely be a day where Mr. Saransh Jain would be looking to get back to his old self. But KT Dillon, I mean, he is definitely one of those opponents who can shock you. We've seen his signature cutbacks into a goal. We've seen him making those long passes. But let's see what Saransh has to offer today.
Yeah, KT, you can see as a guy who's looking really focused. He's a guy who's really in the mood. He's a guy who wants that win. Of course, he's going up against Saransh. You look at the skill level. There is a skill gap between these players, but as we've seen in a lot of these games, form and skill does go out the window. We've seen a lot of giant killing acts, but for KT Dharan, I think the difficulty mainly has been in scoring the goals. He's been okay defensively, but getting those goals, it's usually been sort of a 1-0 or a 2-1 kind of scoreline for him. And against Saransh, I mean, Saransh is generally guaranteed at least 1 or 2 goals per game. And it's about keeping him out and obviously getting a goal yourself. So for KT, first priority obviously has to be to keep Saransh out, but he has to be clinical on that counter attack if he has to get anything from this game.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you can see Saranchan has been the better player over here. 7 goals ahead, and but still, 7 goals margin is not enough for Saranchan. I'm pretty sure back in those days when we used to, I used to cast him in the other FIFA tournaments that we had. He 8 to 9 goals is what he would get every single time when he used to come in. And of course, the version was different. Earlier, it was easier to score goals. I've seen players almost scoring from the half line, so that has been there. But yeah, as we've progressed, especially in FIFA 22, it's so difficult, to try and score a goal over here. So not a lot of goals we've seen, because especially when you've got players like Van der Sar, the keepers. But here we have the game finally on. And from right to left, we've got Chennai FC in white, and the Mariners in the signature green and red. So from left to right. So again, there you have it. Chennai FC building up their attack right from the early get go. Let's see if they can get a win out of this one.
And straight away, you can see Saranj has a couple of the Team of the Year cards. There is Messi. He's also got João Cancelo in there at right back. Also, one of the most complete players in the game, you'd have to say João Cancelo. I, in fact, use him as a midfielder in my team. And you can see Saranj not wasting any time getting into that box left and right with Mbappe. Finishes into the corner before KT even knows
What?
what's happening. Saranj is in the mood today.
Oh, he is. He is. I'm pretty sure he's got his scoring boots on. The first shot being taken, and there you have it. The 93 Mbappe just roaring out there. And Chennai FC off to an early lead. And this is where Katie Dillon, he's got to respond. And he's got to do that quick, because the mood that Saranch is in, I think I smell blood lost. And he's going to go for a lot more
Oh,
goals.
yeah, I think over there went for a player switch and then the player forgot to run after his own ball. So a bit unfortunate for KT. He'd actually done very well to get away from his defender. We do see that he also has Joao Cancelo at right back. He has Kevin De Bruyne in midfield as well. So for us, a little bit more variety to comment upon. He's got Ferdinand playing in midfield. No, it does look like he's gone back to centre half again. Neymar being used by Saranch as well. So clearly, this new Neymar card is clearly a hit amongst all the players. Has quickly taken Eusebio out of the game with its introduction, and Kitty coming forward, but again, you can see Saranch is a player who loves to press. He loves to get in the opponent's face and immediately win that ball back because he wants to be in control. He wants to be on the ball at all times. Now coming down that left flank with Neymar, trying to go for an early cross over there. And Kevin De Bruyne is saying, me, a yellow card? It is indeed a yellow card for KDB, for KT and KDB both. And now it's Saranch looking to make this two. And honestly, the way the mood he's looking in, I would not be surprised.
Oh yeah, he's in here for a fiesta for a lot of goals. But there you have Vieira passing it on towards Mbappe, and this could be the opening that Neymar Jr. was looking for. But the keeper really quick to retaliate as we go out for a corner. Messi getting in deep before going in for that cutback, but really well read by Katie Delon as he initially intended to go for a counter attack, but that has been stopped right at its marks.
Yeah, not quite working out for KT right now because of Saranch's high press. I mean, it's really, really difficult for most players on a regular day to get that ball off Saranch, let alone on a day where he's really, really focused. He's in the zone. He's seen his teammate struggle in the game before, so now he has to make it a point to get it. And also, quite interesting to see that Rio Ferdinand has come at the price of because I was wondering since the start of the day who's the player that Ferdinand came in for, and it is actually Marquinhos, who's been one of the most prolific players. And in fact, there is a new Marquinhos card that was part of the team of the year as well. So quite surprised nobody has picked him, considering he was already part of the meta. And free kick for
Yeah.
Saranch, obviously not going for goal from there, but we'll start building. And oh, okay,
Oh,
well, trying to do an Ankit Gupta and eventually doing a not Ankit Gupta.
yeah. I mean, a little too ambitious on that one, and you know, I think it's something that we've got to do with Ankit Gupta because no matter who the player is, no matter what the range is, he somehow tends to score, and I do not know. If it's just skills or it's some percentage of chances, but he's that kind of a player who eventually sees it through. But again, Sharanch making the efforts over here, but still keeping the press on. Now, we did see the same thing from Saranch's side, even against Imad. But Imad did have a strategy in mind. So I'm starting to ponder if Katie Dillon did go through a VOD review over that match because now Neymar Jr. has passed it on and
Oh,
the shot had been taken, but still goes out for a corner.
yeah, it does look like it was Yashin. Will he go for the shot over here? Two roules and a penalty. And KT will be wondering what he could have even done to stop that because I think he threw a tackle in there at some point in between the two 360-degree turns. There was contact. And now it is going to be Neymar up against Yashin. No, it's going to be Ronaldo against Yashin. Let's see what he does. Go straight down the middle. Panenka. The audacity from Saranch to go for the Panenka over there. I've usually found though that it's actually most players in the ISL have tended to go down the middle, so maybe it is worth just moving the keeper around and then just trying to call the bluff because it does make your opponent look very foolish when you do a panenka and the keeper is
Oh,
just standing there to catch it. But Saranch now 2 goals to the good and looking like he is going to close this one out.
Oh yeah, he definitely is, and this is what was sort of a little worrying for me because I'm pretty sure Bindratej had also felt the same, right? That was why it was so important to win his game, and he expressed dissent
Oh
over it.
no!
But right now again, Sorange just toying
Oh
around, and Cancelo making sure that ATKMB do not concede one more and Chennaiyin FC, the fans, they're all roaring, all whistling as they've scored a two and maybe are looking for a potential third by the end of the first half.
yeah, and I think for ATKMB right now they're having one of those war veteran flashbacks to the times where they were not able to win. I think that should be an offside. There you go. It is. And yeah, for him, it's still, I think, the only saving grace, and you could look at it as a positive or a negative, is the fact that it's only half time. So there is time for him to come back, but conversely, also time if he keeps giving the ball away for Saranj to really make this painful for him. You can see the jostling and the wrestling happening. Mbappe with a shot picked out of the top corner. I think probably should had time to go onto the stronger foot over there and try to finesse that into the corner. And it is Messi now taking the corner kick. Let's see if Saranj has a routine in mind. Goes short to Gullit. Not quite picking out anybody with that pass, but still has the ball into Messi with Mbappe now still keeping the ball. Oh, that's beautifully worked. That's incredible. Saranch is absolutely on fire today. That is 3-0 to Chennai FC and doesn't look like there's any way back for ATKMB now.
Oh yeah, I mean at this point you've got to say it, right? You've got to use. I'm sort of witnessing the old glimpses of Saranj, right? Absolutely in control of the game, no hesitation before he goes in for the goal, and this is exactly what the fans needed, right? From Saranj, and today he is here to deliver, and we all know. I mean, if I'm pretty sure they're gonna see this through, and they're gonna have no issues in seeing the co-op through as well. So 3 points is kind of inevitable coming in for Chennai FC, which will again find themselves at the very top. And there you go, the halftime whistle being blown, and Saran Chen, he is pretty satisfied with how his first half went. And there is Naveen, from the backline speaking, hey bro, are you going for three more, or are you gonna settle at something? Show us some kind of a goal that we would all love to witness. But look at the quality of goals, Azim. He's just been so good.
Yeah, his close control in the box has been excellent, and I've been saying this since the start of the tournament that at some point there would be one opponent who would feel the wrath of Saranch and get an absolute spanking, and it unfortunately looks like that might be KT Dillon today. The goal penalty goal, I think he can like consider himself slightly unfortunate because there wasn't really much that he could do because it was just one relay into another. The animations continue, and then if you're trying to put a tackle in, inevitably or invariably it is going to be a goal. But I think the biggest problem for KT has been even from his own restarts, he's immediately had his pocket picked by Saranj. And again, you see from his own start,
Oh,
it's a goal.
oh,
It's a goal, and it is 4-0. And this could get embarrassing for KT right now because Saranj is just looking so focused, so good. He's looking relentless, merciless, and looking to fire Chennai FC back to the top. Of course, even with this win, it's not quite done yet because we do have, because of Indra Tej's draw, it would mean that we do go to the co-op with something still to play for. We do know that ATKMB, if they can win the co-op game, they can steal a draw away from this. But well, based on the evidence of what Saranch is doing right now, I think KT will maybe want to step out in between games and just grab a cup of coffee and come back because, oh my goodness, this has been an absolute battering.
oh yes, it's murder in plain sight, right? From Chennai FC, the way they've been playing, Saran Chen being so clinical and showing some really good intent. Such a good time to get back into form, at least when Naveen is going through that little bit of a slump. And as again, he's created a good opportunity. This time from the left wings, Mbappe passing it on towards Ronaldo, giving it away towards Scarlett, and again trying to reset the attack, find some openings as Neymar has got it,
Oof.
goes in for the near post with his right legs, but not really going the way he had wanted.
Yeah, for KT, I think he's a bit of a deer in the headlights right now because he is just not able to keep hold of that ball at all. I mean, the moment he gets it, within like 5 seconds, he's given it back to Saranch, and it's just, I mean, it's not a great place for him to be. I think for now, he just needs to try and get his focus back, even if it means you're going to concede more goals. Make it difficult for Saranch. Just get your mojo, get your flow back because there's still another game to play after this. And look at this, Saranch just moving from side to side, has the open pass to Mbappe, will take that shot. No, goes for the fake and then the shot. Maldini in the way to well save some of the blushes, but no, again there you see, given straight back immediately, and hopefully he can string 3 or 4 passes together now. Just get a feel for the ball, and you can see he wants to play on that fast break, but I think he's trying to play it too fast. He's just trying to do too much with the ball too quickly, and it is Theo Hernandez now coming forward, ball into the box, but nobody home to tap it in. And Saranch now has the opportunity. It's a 2v1, it's a 3v1 at the back over here. Take your pick, Saranj. Who do you want the goal to be scored by?
Hey,
Nobody,
hey,
really,
hey,
because Maldini
hey.
steps in.
Yes, exactly, Azim. You've still got Maldini. I'm pretty sure as long as that man's out there, it's so difficult to call the shots, right? And finally, Sorange feeling the heat over there as he's going to try and create one
Oh,
more chance. Wow, I mean, the sheer opening. That's so beautiful, so mesmerizing just to watch. The way the ball pierces through the defenders and Ronaldo. All right, he was trying to make that movement, trying to give that pass potentially onto Eusebio, I believe, but did not really work out.
yeah, I mean, I think Saranch is one of the best in the business at those little lofted passes, lofted through balls, not the lobs or the long balls, but just those slightly elevated ones, the ones that you get by double tapping X or triangle.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that he just manages to time to perfection. And again on the counter attack. Now I think he's trying to score like some artistic goals. He wants to score a goal that is, for lack of a better word, an Ankit Gupta goal, a beautiful goal. And we will see him maybe get into good positions and not give the ball up, but in a quest for that perfect goal. You see over here now falling to Ronaldo, now finding Neymar
Oh,
Jr. And there you
um,
go. It's 5-0. And yes, I had said from day one that this day was coming.
oh,
And the day has arrived where Saranch is absolutely unstoppable.
yeah, it is sort of inevitable, right? You just can't stop this mean force of nature that we have. So Ram Shen, one of the best players, not just in the country, but in the South Asian region, finally living up to his name, the legacy that he has created, one of the most experienced players, quite visible. Why? As Katie Dillon, this is just a nightmare that he wants to end somewhere really soon because now he started to toy along with him, with just Ronaldo. Now wanted to pass it on towards Pele, I believe, but yeah, either ways, Cancelo. He's still gonna maintain that attack. I think the bigger issues with Katie Dillon has been primarily at trying to keep the possession on.
Yeah. He's definitely not been able to keep the ball at all. You can see over here, Saranj, the ease with which he's just manipulating that ball around. And again, it is 6 now. 6-0 to Saranj. Not even bothering to look at the celebration or the replay. He just wants to get on with it. Because it does look like with every restart, KT just wants to give the ball to him. And I think KT just hasn't showed up at all today. Like, he's just completely low on confidence. Maybe the nerves, maybe the pressure of the day getting to him. But he needs to realize that there is still one more game with plenty at stake to play after this one. So this result could all mean nothing if they can get the win in co-op. And really, that's what his focus needs to shift to now. I think he needs to just try to keep good possession, try to win a few individual battles, and try to get his confidence up for that game three, because it could all change there.
Yeah, I think at this point, he would just want these 4 minutes to quickly pass by and get a reset and come back in stronger, right? But then again, the blistering form that Saranj Jain just developed, it's going to be such a horrifying nightmare, even for Bindratej. Now you're going to start to wonder what's coming for us in the co-op game because after this win, at least Chennai and FC are guaranteed 1 point, but the last chance, last ditch effort being shown by Katie Dillon. Maybe if he could score a goal of the last attack, then things could have been either ways. But this is again coming back to the fact that Saranj Jens not just only scored a lot of goals, it was an absolute thrashing. Would be the right word because in terms of possession, in terms of how he played, Katie Dillon did not stand a chance at all.
I mean, KT on his day is capable of going head to head against Saranch despite the skill gap, but it just looked like maybe the occasion was too much for him today. It just got to him, and not able to get the result. Unfortunately for KT, not able to really show up. Was just not able to keep that ball. Kept giving it away. Kept losing it from his own restarts, from his own set plays, and it was a sign of a guy who's just not really feeling it on the day. Bindratej tried as hard as he could, got that very, very fortunate 1-all draw. And KT, we did see Vindratesh say that he was confident that he was focused, that he was in the zone, that he may be able to steal a result against Saranch. But that 6-0,
Yeah.
I think, is a true reflection of how this game panned out, and unfortunately for KT, not in his favor.
Oh yes, because right now, with the way this game just went by, I do not know if he can actually recover in such a short span of time. For a moment, I really felt that Saranch, that was not intentional, just going for the double roulette. But then I realized, I mean, why not? I feel if we can manage to get a penalty out of this one, should definitely go for it. And we've got to ask if what his intentions were. Was he actually trying to score a goal out of that one, or did he actually try to bait out the tackle and then eventually score from a penalty? Because both the cases are possible. But look at the close quarters control from Saranchan, right? This is something that I really like about the experienced players. They do not lose their nerve. Something like Lokmanyu, something like Vanshaj, they do a lot. But again, Saranchan, an absolute dominating performance from his side. Nothing less that you would expect from one of the best in the business.
Yeah, and he just lived up to that tag absolutely today. No chance for his opponent. Just he was so hungry, he was determined, he wanted to score a goal with every single move. And you look at that, expected goals of 8.1 to 0 shots afforded to ATKMB in this game, and that is the Saranch that we know and love. That's the Saranch who's been dominating the South Asian scene for a number of years now, and what a great time for him to find his form in the eISL.
Oh yes, and this is where Chennaiyin FC at least have one player gaining their form back. But right now, let's take a look at what the players have to say from the Chennaiyin FC about the eISL.
Hi, I'm Naveen. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Chennai and I represent Chennaiyin FC.
Hi, I'm Saransh. I'm from Pune. I'm 20 years old and I'll be representing Chennaiyin FC. So I've been playing competitive FIFA for a long time now. It's been almost 4 years since I've been competing. And when this tournament got announced, I was very excited because something like this had never happened in India. With such a big prize pool and such high stakes, it was incredible to be a part of. So at the end of this tournament, the winner gets a spot for the Global Series playoffs, which is something that has been my dream for the last couple of years. India wasn't eligible to play in the Global Series until a couple of years ago. And now finally we actually get a guaranteed spot for the Global Series playoffs.
Obviously, Chennaiyin FC is like a huge club, so I wanted to try my best to get qualified for the tournament. And luckily, I got through the 12th player, and Saranch is my teammate in the qualifier, which is a really big honor for me to play with him. This is a really new format for me to play in. I've never played such format anywhere. First, we have to play 1v1 against two opponents, and then 2v2. So 2v2 is all about communication and teamwork. Even if we lose our 1v1 match, if he loses or I lose, it doesn't matter for us because we back each other in the 2v2, so we concentrate on 2v2 more as well. And my partner is Saranch, so we haven't lost a single game yet in co-op, I guess. So we have been doing well in co-op. The funny part is we have practiced in the first day of the tournament, before the tournament started. And after that, till now, I think we haven't practiced anything.
So when we faced Kerala, I was playing against Lokmanyu and Naveen was playing against Dakshar. I was 2-1 down until the 85th minute, and luckily I got an equalizer in. And at that point, I was talking to Naveen, and Naveen was kind of saying that maybe we should settle in for a draw. But I felt that a draw isn't worth it. Either you win or you lose, right? It doesn't make sense for a draw. And with a draw, even Naveen would have gotten unnecessary pressure. I think even if I lost, I knew Naveen was gonna clutch up, so I thought that might as well take a gamble and go for it. But unfortunately, I couldn't do it, and Lokmanyu got the better of me. But luckily, in the next game, Naveen showed his ice and won his game pretty comfortably.
I want to add one thing to what Saranch was saying about the Kerala match. After the first match, which we lost, I was was in a little bit of pressure to play the second match. But then Saranch came to me and he was telling me to play your game. It's all right whether I lose or not. It doesn't matter. You can easily win is what he backed me so much. So that was very comfortable for me to play the game. According to me, two favorites to win the eISL is FC Goa and Jamshedpur. FC Goa because they have been just lost one game for so far. So even if we lose one game, they'll go above us. And Vanchal is a very good player, and they are doing well, really well in the co-op. And if you come to Jamshedpur, both of them are really good players, and I know them from like for past 3 years. I've been playing with them, so I know them, their game style, everything, and they do really well in co-op as they have played co-op before as well. So they are a very big contention for us.
So for me, the underdogs of this tournament have to be Chennai FC, which are ourselves. I like to look at myself as the underdog for most events since it helps me mentally. But if I were to pick a team, I would say East Bengal. East Bengal have only played like 2 games so far, and they've won both of them quite convincingly. So they're a very strong force, and I'm looking forward to facing them and to other teams as well. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the underdog or not. Like what happens on the day happens.
I want to take this moment to thank my family and the Chennai FC fans for the support they have shown us through the tournament.
It's so funny how Saranj considers himself as the underdog. I do not know if he's just too naive or being just too modest or whatever it is, or maybe it's just a mental trick in his books, because that is something that I could never buy, right?
Yeah.
Chennai FC calling themselves as such. But the second point that he mentioned, about East Bengal stands true, right? This is again a recorded interview that happened a couple of weeks back when Chennai, when in fact SC East Bengal were winning all their games, and now look at them just sitting at the tippity top. A lot of things have also changed along with it. We still have one more fixture after this, in which Azim, we're gonna witness the boys from Jamshedpur FC. Now they've had such a strong start initially, but then when we were anticipating that they could be the ones topping the table, they started trembling.
Yeah, and it is I mean, the closer that you get to the top, I mean, the more the pressure ramps up. And by that logic, of course, you would think that ATKMB should be playing with complete freedom and no pressure. But of course, if you go on the run that they've been on, 9 games back to back losing, of course, it hurts because, I mean, this is a big tournament. There's so many eyes on you, your friends, your family, all the fans of the clubs are watching. Can be tough. So for them, they still, I mean, you have to wipe out what's happened so far today, particularly for KT. He has to say, you know what, I'm just going to play my game. I have my teammate along with me. Let's see. There's still pressure on Chennai FC to win this game. A draw is no good for them. So let's be the party poopers. Let's go out there, get a goal early, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think they've got to go really aggressive right off the bat. But there you have it. The game finally being kicked off. Again, Chennai in their white from right to left, and the Mariners in the green and red from left to right. We've got this game. If ATKMB somehow manage to pull off a victory in this one, they're going to be taking home with them a 1 pointer. But Chennai FC, considering how Saranjan just played a couple of minutes ago, I don't think they're in any intention of letting that happen.
Yeah, of course, they would want to go out and really make a statement to the rest of the tournament. Of course, everybody now will be sitting up and watching and just seeing that, that slumbering giant of Saranj has suddenly, out of nowhere, woken up and scored those 6 goals. Yes, he was up against an opponent who just clearly didn't look very confident on the day. And, oh, that's another strange giveaway. And again, so not quite able to deal with the high press that Chennai FC are doing. And it's something that maybe Chennai would have watched ATKMB's game against FC Goa as well, and noticed that maybe, in the maybe FC Goa was not pressing them too much, and that's what was allowing them the space. And this is where Chennai FC need to watch out, because Kerala Blast, I'm so sorry, ATKMB have been good on that counter attack, and they will be looking to find those balls in behind the defense as soon as they possibly can. But it's an uphill task, you have to say. Although it can be looking a bit more solid than in that last game. Of course, Binder Tej being there as the guy who got a decent result is going to help them, and let's see if they can salvage a point.
Oh yes, because this game is very important. Likewise, Binder Tej, right, said that they're looking forward to getting back in the race, and the 3 points they earned last week was a little bit of a thing to start off with, right? But from here onwards, you've got to keep climbing up, because there's no margin where you could actually try to fall any lower than this, right? But there you have it. Be a little ambitious. Imagine that had gotten through, and against the likes of Saransh and Naveen, you've got to take your chances and you've got to go for shots like this. Sometimes they do go in.
Yeah, I mean, in this, you just have to sort of play the meta. Sometimes you know that keepers might just let those kind of shots slip. And because you know, when you're up against two players who have a distinct form advantage, skill advantage, confidence advantage, sometimes you just got to do the I mean safe bet kind of things. You just want to try and go, even though it might not be the most beautiful or the most uh, smooth or flowy way to play the game. You just got to do what works. As we see Chan Oblak, finally a player that I also own, uh, in goal for Chennai FC, of course, taking their time and trying out some new players. This should be a ball into the box. Played a bit late, delayed the
Oh,
shot, but doesn't matter. It's a
yeah.
goal. It's as easy as that. One ball in behind, simple ball in, and bang, in the goal. And the result that we were expecting. That
Yes.
is that Chennai FC, one goal up.
And quite convincingly that this goal was scored, right? Clearly, you could see the camaraderie between the players, the pass coming in, and Ronaldo had no time to waste. We really do not know who's behind the controllers of that one, but yeah, this is exactly what was sort of expected. Now for Chennai FC, I really want them to score one more and then try to, have Naveen come back to shape just a little bit, because if the things I've been yearning to sort of talk to the boys, right? Lots to discuss about. They haven't been on the winning side of things, and this win would especially guarantee them those 3 points, them their lost first position, and also bolster up their morals a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they were the team that started off in really really good form, and suddenly that tailed away over the last 2 or 3 games. This is an opportunity to start getting back on the correct trajectory. For them, they know that the top four is the bare minimum that they're looking for, and top four. I think everybody in all the interviews has said that Chennai FC are the favorites, or at least one of the favorites, and they're living up to that tag today. ATKMB have been outclassed, they have been outplayed. Look at that pressure on the ball. They're just not letting them breathe. I mean, they won't even let you get the ball out of defense because they just want it back. They want to score those goals immediately. And it is, I'm sure, being driven. There you go again, forcing that mistake immediately. And now with Neymar on the ball, trying to win it back, gets it clear. Let's see. I'm giving it 10 seconds before Chennai and FC have the ball again. 10, 9. There you go. They have it back.
Oh.
That's just what they want to do. I mean, there is a foul for ATKMB, but you can see the high press and the desire that they have to win it back.
Yes, every single time, and somewhere down the line, ATKMB, they could have used a little bit more homework coming in inside this game with an ideal plan, because that is exactly what Northeast United FC did, and managed to secure a win out of Chennai FC. So they've had to try something, out of the box. We did see them going for a few long shots, but that's again not a viable strategy that you can really rely on, because the boys over here from Chennai FC look unstoppable with the way they've been playing. And at this point, they're being a little loose, but at some point you would see them starting to steamroll over ATKMB and get 2 to 3 more goals.
Yeah, I mean, 2 to 3 could be putting it lightly, but hang on, there is a shot and still. But again, the blocks from Chennai and FC, it is offside anyway, so wouldn't really have counted. Heartening for ATKMB, I would say, just to at least get a sight on goal, but I mean, there was just too many bodies in the way for them to get that shot away. And warning bells for Chennai and FC as well, that they cannot get too complacent. They know that ATKMB, if you give them the opportunity, they will grab it and come back into the game. They're still discussing, they're still debating. At this point, it's not beyond them. It's still just 1-0. If you can find a goal at any point before like the 85th minute, suddenly the tables could turn, the nerves could kick in. So for Chennai and FC, they have to try to finish that job and negate that the possibility of that outcome. And you could see over here in behind with Ronaldo. Could they finish it off? You're going for an Ankit Gupta finish, you would have to say, over there with exactly the same movement, the little chop back, but not enough elevation on the shot as the
Yeah.
clearance from ATKMB goes nowhere.
Then again, these are the sort of avenues that even I would go for once I'm starting to feel myself. I think Chennai and FC feel pretty confident. Just a few more goals, and they're going to witness some really, really weird things going on from their side, right? Now, we do not have Mufu, who's one of the players who always comes up with something evil planned up in his mind, right? Go for some really, really weird players towards the very end during the co-ops. Those are the kind of shenanigans Mufu loves, and we love him for that likewise. But again, Chennai FC building up that attack from the left wing. You could see them possibly just playing around those three defenders, passing it on towards Neymar with a roulette trying to get inside, but well read by the defenders, which was absolutely missing from ATKMB this time.
And again, just rub of the green, not quite going their way. Had the opportunity, the ball sort of did bounce their way just for a brief moment, but going straight out for a throw in. And this is pretty much the final attack if the referee will allow it with Pele. Now with Lothar Matthäus. Nope. I think that pass back was probably not advisable when 1 minute was already on the clock for extra time. And ATKMB, I mean, if you look at the game statistically, it's been fairly close. They have had one good opportunity which they've not been able to take. And if they can somehow get a goal back in, I think those nerves might creep back for Chennai.
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point, Chennai and FC they are definitely looking for this solid 3 points. But like you said, if ATKMB can sneak in a goal, maybe through a counter attack, because you've got some high pressing FIFA. Find that right little opening, maybe score one more. But a draw would just not do it, right? You've got to score
Yeah.
a winner over here. You've got to score the winning goal. That only ensures that. You walk home with something in your hands. But here we are off with the second half. And ATKMB, you could clearly see the energy levels between these two clubs out here. Uh, Saranj and Naveen completely focused, completely determined. ATKMB, they're trying to put up a fight, but seems like it's just not enough.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Maybe for ATKMB, just trying these, experimenting with these new players has not quite worked for them. Even with Bindratej, we did see him come back into that game when he had his favored CR7 on, and we have seen that substitution made as well. There is something about having players that you are just more familiar, more comfortable with, which makes you feel more at home. And maybe going reverting to those old tactics might help them getting the same old the Eusebios, the CR7s, the Cruyffs all on off the bench. We do see Messi now for Chennai and FC, well defended there using Alfonso Davies, cleared wide, and now we'll look up. And again, that pass has happened over and over and over again for ATKMB, not quite able to get out of their own half. And that's really the struggle. If you keep giving Chennai and FC that ball back to recycle possession, you're never going to get a shot on goal.
Oh yeah, and these sort of opening, these sort of clear possessional advantage that Chennai and FC have at this point is starting to sort of affect the players of ATKMB mentally, right? They're getting so much room. Look at them, not really being put pressure on. All the players trying to do what they want to. You've got Neymar, that room and space where you see him making some trick moves, getting inside, going in for that cutback, but Vieira being there for the read, but Neymar somehow passes it on to its Messi. This could have been a good potential chance, but Davis is there present to block it out, and ATKMB there are for a counter attack.
Nope. But again, you just see
No.
that press is incessant. It's incredible how hard they're pressing. And now with Messi on the ball, they will win that corner. It is still just 1-0 for Chennai and FC. There is 30 minutes left for ATKMB to do something about that. And let's see if they try to try a different sort of set piece. It might be just the near post header is what they're going for. And he does win that header, but heads it away from goal in a strange turn of events. Now, Ronaldo versus Ronaldo. Let's see which Ronaldo comes out on top. Nope, going straight back. I think they need to just breathe while on the ball, ATKMB. Just do exactly this. And again, just giving it away. I don't think Chennai and FC is letting them breathe. And I do get the feeling that one player is giving the ball away a little bit more than the other. That might be KT, who's still not quite recovered from the trauma of that last defeat. Now these are the moments to make it count. It is a ball played in, almost a shot on target over there, and this is good. This is good for ATKMB. This is good for the game overall, but not quite. Chennai FC will look for that ball in behind. Which will it be defended? Nope. Mbappe powering through, but Vieira is there as always.
Yeah, Vieira being present, and with the game sort of going on, again the Chennai FC fans would be starting to hope for a few more goals from their side, and this is a good start. Messi from the right wing, passing it on towards Neymar Jr. Ronaldo, oh, just bamboozling everybody and scoring from his left leg. This is the kind of a FIFA that you would want from Chennai FC, and there you have them delivered. Wow.
That was again just like the skill that is there to beat defenders 1v1 for both these boys, Naveen and Saranj. When they're on their game, it's just impossible to defend them 1v1. I have tried on a couple of occasions while playing against Saranj myself, and I can vouch for just how hard it is. I mean, and not just for a a layperson like me, but even for seasoned pros. Again, now this is where it could get embarrassing because at 1-0 there was hope for ATKMB. Maybe we get one goal, suddenly it's back on, suddenly the nerves creep in, but now it could be a feast for Chennai FC.
Yeah, I mean, the way things are going off, I think Chennai FC just needed this a little bit of a wake up for them, right? It's sort of an early shot of espresso as they're just trying to get in, go in for another goal, and suddenly this match has woken up. Chennai FC, the fans are related, and this they're
Oh,
just playing around with the defenders for Christ's sake. Oh, they need to stop doing this. This is so dementing for ATKMB. But these sort of long passes are so crucial when you've got so many players committing. Ronaldo from the right wing looks for a cutback.
oh,
That's very well put in, and that's a goal coming in just when you were starting to think that the Chennai FC boys were starting to walk off with the victory. ATKMB just sneak in with a goal of their own.
it's just, I mean, I was about to say that maybe that could be the turning point, but they went and gave the ball away from their own restart. And there you go. This should be it. And it is. And it's game over. The glimmer of hope lasted for exactly 5 seconds as Chennai FC just casually walks up the other end of the pitch. And a lovely low driven finish into the corners. Usually Saransh who does those, and yeah, wasting no time. In the previous opportunity, I think just wanted that perfect goal, wanted to sit down the keeper, wanted to do something more fun with it. But for now, just realizing that they need to get the job done. And again, almost another giveaway from their own start for ATKMB. They've just not been at the races today. I mean, they've got the one goal, yes, but in possession, it's just not quite happened. Again, trying to force a pass where there isn't really one. Winning the ball back, though, might just be able to get a shot away over here. But you can see how congested, how crowded that area outside the box is. And there's really no way through. Well done over there. But again, that has been the thing that's plagued them throughout this game, just constantly giving the ball away.
Oh yeah, and ATKMB still realize that they've got a long way to go before they get back. But with every single passing game, the pressure just keeps on mounting. And today, had they managed to get home with 3 points, that would have done so much for their morals, right? Going up against one of the best teams, two of the best players in the region, but they're not still yet giving
Woo!
up. That has to be one of the best goals that they've scored. A Roulé going into a shot. The keeper absolutely shell shocked, and ATKMB do get a score there. But still, the question arises: is it just too late?
I think it is definitely too late because they need two goals now to try and salvage something. We're already at the 90-minute mark. I think Chennai FC, they'll probably still try to go up the other end and score one more goal, and or will they just try to waste time? You can see the desperation to win the ball back from ATKMB over here, and okay, that's a bit of assault, a bit of MMA happening over there between Mbappe, and that should be. Oh, it's not a goal. All right, it's not a goal, and I think that is their full time. It is 3-2. A rather deceptive scoreline, you would have to say, because it was absolutely dominated by Chennaiyin FC, who get that well, not a clean sweep, but they go undefeated in the game, and 2 wins and a draw gets them 3 points and puts them back
Yeah.
at the top of the table.
Back at the top, and this is exactly what we had sort of anticipated when we did see this fixture. We were sort of hoping for some sort of a surprise over there, but clearly, even in terms of the first game between Naveen and Bindratej, though it did end out as a draw, but even Bindratej had to say that his defense was absolutely in shambles, right? Naveen was just playing around. However, Naveen could not be that clinical. But in game number two, it was a completely different story. It was absolute carnage from Saransh Jain's side, who apparently, considers himself as the underdog. I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming up for an interview, and I'm definitely going to raise a few questions at that. But again, overall, for all the viewers out there, Chennai FC have secured these important 3 points for themselves and have managed to move up top in terms of where they really stand.
Yeah, I mean, it is a temporary position because, could be temporary because SC East Bengal still have 2 games less that they have played. So they can enjoy it for now. I mean, nobody who's been on top of the table has lasted there for very, very long. So maybe I think SC East Bengal will silently be happy that it's not them who's leading, because generally it's the leaders who fall off in this tournament so far. I do believe there is an opportunity today as well for the Jamshedpur FC to even try to go top. So still, it could change even further. But for the moment, Chennaiyin FC doing what they had to do. You can only beat what's in front of you, and they have today comprehensively beaten ATKMB. There was the goal at the end, lovely roulette and finish from I'm not sure if it was in the page, but you can see they were a bit annoyed about it anyway. And there you go. It's 4 expected goals for Chennai and 2.5. So largely a fair reflection of the game. You could say maybe 3-2, 4-2 would probably have been a fairer reflection of the game. But you can see that ATKMB, lots of passes. But if there was a stat for number of balls given away, I mean, that would be off the charts for ATKMB.
Yeah, and that has been the primary issue, right? Maintaining the ball, keeping the ball rolling, having those passes going in, building up those plays. Now, ATKMB clearly know that they've got a lot to work out on. But right now, let's take a look at the scorecard and see. There you have it. Finally officially confirmed. 3 points earned for Chennai FC, as they've managed to win this tie quite convincingly, I must say. Of course, there was a little bit of a hiccup in that first game from Naveen's side, but what Saransh just did with Katie Dillon, I mean, that's so painful to even recover from. And talking about the hero of the match, I don't think we would have any guesses on who that would be. One of the best in the South Asian region. There you have it for Mr. Saransh Jain, who's going to come up in a little bit of a time over there. And there you go.
9 goals. Wow.
So all the score, yeah.
Yeah, he was absolutely on fire today. Scored all kinds of goals, like crossed assists, nice close control goals, finishes smashing them into the corner. He did absolutely everything today. This is the Saransh that we have known for a number of years. This is the clinical finisher, that silent assassin who just shows up on the day and absolutely massacres the opposition. And that's what it was all about today. You can see the confidence, the close control, the finish into the corner over there using Mbappe. And just some insane goals scored by him. Again, the control that he showed over here, just absolutely insane. And he is one of the best in the game at close control, and he's absolutely shown that today.
Yeah, every single time. And the big brain plays are definitely made by him on multiple number of occasions. We've seen him doing that. And this is where your nerves are questioned, right? This is where a lot of experienced players seem to falter out, but that's not the case with Saransh Jain. Every single time, he finds an opportunity, he takes it with open arms, and he delivers. The way he was getting an entry inside the D box over there, and not just that, during the co-op game, the passes coming in from Naveen's side as well. All these crosses. This was all Naveen making those plays happen. He was the playmaker in that sort of situation, and he did believe Saransh would have no issues in scoring. So, considering Saransh is in a very hot form, he would definitely be the one taking all those shots. Look at how beautifully just Naveen feeds the ball to Saransh, and he makes no mistake. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the leaderboards and find for ourselves. There you have it. After the ties that we've had today, Chennaiyin FC 11 matches played, and now they're sitting on the TBD top.
Yep, and for ATKMB, of course, they sit still rock bottom, had the opportunity to maybe go up. And if you see the goal difference over there, I think that's where it's been. Like, if you look at Hyderabad and ATKMB, goals scored, you'd say, okay, 43, 49, that's fine. But the goal difference of minus 49, that's been the thing. I mean, you can't concede. I mean, that's probably like 90. I mean, I'm losing track of how many goals that would take for that to happen, but probably close to 100 goals that they've conceded, and in 11 games that's just not sustainable, unfortunately. But at the top, SC East Bengal have the advantage, of course, of 2 games, and the voice in my ear does tell me that we have Saransh in to have a chat with us, and we will head right over to him. There we
Ah,
go. Very,
there
very
you have
happy today, Saransh. Big win. I've been saying from the beginning that at some point Saransh is going to absolutely smash someone. That win is coming, and it happened today.
Yeah, I think I played well after like 10 match weeks. I think like this is the first time I actually was able to play my game. I have been getting results in the past, but I've never been happy with how I've played. I think that's been very evident. But today, yeah, like I'm very proud of how Naveen's played today in co-op as well. And even his 1v1 game, he was very unlucky, but like he had his head down, but luckily he focused for co-op and we got the win.
Now, Saransh, I've taken this really personally that you've called yourself as the underdog. That's definitely not the title that you deserve for sure. But, talk me about the slump that you guys have had lately, right? You've been trying a lot, and somehow your opponents seem to come out through. And this was such an important game to gain back your winning momentum. So, how have you been coping up with the dark days?
Like honestly, today was the first time I played without any pressure. Like I've decided from this moment on that I won't be like having any kind of pressure on myself or on
To
Naveen,
be the
because I
best.
feel like yeah, like we've had a lot of pressure because we hear things from people and it does get into your head a little. And but
Okay.
like I yeah, like my main focus from now will be to just play casually, just play the normal game like I'm playing at home. And it worked today. Hopefully it works tomorrow and day after as well.
Yeah, I think this is the pattern we're seeing. All the players who are saying that they want to play like casual players, like you and Ankit, are the guys who are now suddenly racking up all the goals. And yeah, no, I mean, I think you were absolutely on fire today. I think there were glimpses of, I mean, like it almost sometimes felt that you were playing against me, because the one game I've had against you, you were just walking it into the goal just like that. So yeah,
But today
excellent
there was no
stuff
left
over
foot
there.
defender goal for me.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, we'll get to that next time. We'll get to that next time.
Yes.
Saransh, I've got to ask this to you. You've been in the competitive scene for quite some long, and one of the oldest players, as a veteran. Your take on Ankit Gupta. He just comes out of nowhere. Player says that I'm a casual gamer and absolutely thrashes everyone in this tournament. Would you not want to see him as a competitor, even probably representing the country in the nearby future? What is your take on him?
Definitely. Ankit is someone I respect a lot. I've known him personally for like a few years. I played him at a LAN event in FIFA 19. I think that was his first LAN event. And like from that, I think I played him in the semis. And from that moment on, I was like, this guy is something else, because the way he plays is very different to what you would expect. I mean, obviously for the viewers, it's very entertaining because of the way he scores his goals. But for us, it's weird because we're not used to it. Like I'm used to normal X passes, and suddenly I see long shots from half
Yeah.
line, so it's very difficult to cope up with it. But yeah, definitely, I think Ankit should get into competitive FIFA more, and I hope he does.
We all do, but with that being said, of course, you have retained your top spot, and this is the kind of mighty Saranj that we would expect, and all your fans would also expect to see in the foreseeable future. Just hoping for Naveen to get back to his old blistering form. So, all the best for your future matches, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very.
Oh, there you go. I mean, finally, you could see him happy from
Yeah.
within. But again, it's so much of pressure, Azim, to be the best in the league, right? You take a look at the other interviews. Everyone sort of counts Chennai FC as the favorites to win the
Yeah.
title, and that sort of sometimes becomes a little bit burdening. And I think Saranch was feeling the pressure, feeling the heat a little bit. Then he just realized that he needs to just shrug it off, and once he did that, we finally got the glimpses of the old and mighty Sarangs that we all love. But that being said, we are finally done with this fixture. Of course, Chennai FC winning it all and getting those 3 points to get to the tippity top. But before we close things out, a huge shout out again to our beautiful sponsors, starting off with Coca-Cola, our associate sponsors Hero, our esports partners Nordwind Gaming, and our platform partners PlayStation. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are still not done yet, because this time we have one more fixture for you guys. So after this stream, you can definitely hop onto the other stream and catch us, because there's one more match coming your way.